Stop.
Good Tuesday morning.
Knows.
We hope everyone's doing well today. In this video, we're going to talk about the importance of keeping on top of agencies. So if you're completely blind or visually impaired, and let's say you need something like let's say if you need a piece of equipment, and let's say maybe you have talked to somebody or talked to some people and you're still not getting what you want or what you need because maybe the agency is not calling you back, or maybe there's a particular person that you're working with who has been working with you and maybe this person is not calling you back or answering their phone. It's really important that you keep on top of these people, because here's the thing: if you don't keep on top of these people, they will not, might not call you back. Now, Savanna's been trying to get an iPad since I think last September, and there is a really nice guy who helped her fill out an application for the iPad. The problem is, he never answers his phone. He's a really nice guy. He just never answers his phone. So now she's not working with him. She's not working with him anymore. She's working with a rehab teacher to get an iPad. So my point is, you gotta keep on top of these people.
Well, it's a matter of if you call or send an email, sometimes there's radio silence. And when I told the person that was helping me, she was like, well, he is fairly new. Doesn't matter, though.
And it doesn't matter. He should still answer his phone. Sometimes we would call the agency and they would say...
the abbreviation.
They would say, oh, he's out on deliveries or blah, blah, blah,
Or he's out to lunch. But is there a message that you want to leave for him?
And of
then
course,
on a Post-it note.
She would leave him voicemails, and meaning Savanna would leave him voicemails, and he wouldn't call back. We would have to call him. He would
His voicemail would say, I will call upon my return.
But he never called upon his return.
So I told my vocational counselor, and she's like, well, I can understand that. She's like, they'll get back to you when they can.
But they didn't. That's the problem.
No. And finally, I just had enough, and I called her, and I said, look, he's not picking up the phone. What do we do? I said, is it possible that I can get a rehab teacher to help me fill out the last part of the application? And she said yes, and it would be fine, but she said that all rehab teachers shared the county that I live in plus the county that the agent is in.
For me, it's different. So if I need something, like let's say I have needed, let's see, a couple years ago I needed a cane. So the first time my mobility teacher sent me the wrong cane. He sent me it was the wrong height. So I called him and he sent me two canes that were not the right height. And then the third cane he sent me the right height. But when I called him, there was no, oh, you have to fill out this application or blah, blah, blah. I said, hey, I need a cane. Do you mind sending me a cane? And he just sent it to me. So, but for the iPad, she's had to go through a lot of unnecessary hoops.
They were requiring medical records. They required W-2 forms and stuff with Social Security.
It's ridiculous, guys. It's ridiculous. It really, really is. She should have gotten an iPad, I don't know, like last October, or why am I saying? Back in October or back in November. Or why am I saying back? We're only in December. I guess okay, I guess the coffee hasn't kicked in yet. But, and I even said last September, I guess my brain is already in 2024. I don't know. But I need to correct my, I need to correct myself. So in terms of the iPad, she did try, the process started back in September. I don't even know if I said last September or back in September. I don't know. I'm not, my brain is, I don't know. But anyway, the point is, she's been trying to get an iPad since September. So, yeah. And I would have thought, well, maybe forget it in October or November. But here we are,
Almost January.
and still nothing. Now,
And what's crazy is the gentleman that helped me fill out the paper was like, well, it is required that you do have to be hearing impaired. You have to meet that criteria.
which is ridiculous.
Right. Because one of the questions that come up, it says, are you hearing impaired? I'm just like, really?
You all leave your thoughts and comments down below, because we would love to know your thoughts on this. Because I'm like, come on, people. I mean, seriously, it should not take so long just to get an iPad. So, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they'll take forever and a day
So
to get back.
the point is, you gotta keep on top of these people.
I'll give you an example of something that I had to keep on top of. So, one of the agencies outside of RSB that I have a case open with is an agency called BCFR. Well, I was supposed to have a meeting with one of my case workers back in last July.
No, it's still 2023. So, back in July.
Okay, back in July. Okay, I myself am jumbled. I was supposed to have a meeting in July, and we waited and waited and waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. My mom got home early. I either think she got home at around her normal time of getting off work, or she got home a few minutes early, because we were scheduled to meet at 5 with the caseworker. So we waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. She didn't show up at the house. And my mom's like, are you sure we were supposed to meet at 5? I was like, yeah, I'm almost certain. I called to make sure that we were still on. And but we wait a few more minutes. And Mom goes, okay, well, it's after 5. She may have probably forgot. So maybe try to talk to her about it tomorrow. And they always say, people that are always like a few minutes late to a meeting will say, oh, it's traffic. They'll use that.
But this particular person did not. And then there was another time that she was supposed to have a meeting with this person, and the person just didn't show up. She didn't call.
Robert.
She just didn't show up. She didn't show up.
Well,
and that's bad communication. And yeah, she said, oh, I forgot to put it on my calendar. Then, well, guess what? You should have made a note to yourself to, say, okay, I'm going to put this on the calendar today or tomorrow,
She was like, oh, I forgot to put it in my Outlook planner.
That's unprofessional.
Yeah, but, I mean, my counselor with RSB is good. She's, even if she's a few minutes late, she'll say, oh, sorry, I got held up.
But this person, nothing. She didn't call, nothing. She just
When I left the voicemail, I left it after office hours.
She just didn't show up. And again, she could have made a note to herself that the house phone was going to ring. No, she could have made a note to herself saying, I'm going to put this on the calendar today or tomorrow. Anyway, the point is, you got to keep on top of these agencies.
Yeah, because, if you have a set meeting with somebody, they'll come to you and they'll be like, oh, sorry, I got held up due to traffic. And they always use the, I got held up in traffic as a way to get out of the meeting. Anyway. Or get out of work free card, basically. Not all agencies do that, but some people will do that.
Anyway.
And guys, the thing is, I always give anybody that I have an open case with my email and my phone number. what I suggest that you do is keep leaving your contact info until you get at least somebody to get back with you.
Yeah.
Because it sucks having to play the game of email and telephone.
Now, in where she lives, she's not allowed to have her vocational counselor's number. I'm lucky because I'm allowed to have my vocational counselor's number. Cell phone number. Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't specific enough. She's not allowed to have her vocational counselor's cell phone number. But I'm lucky because I'm lucky. I can have my vocational counselor's cell phone number. But
yes, but it's work cell. Now, it's different here because anytime if I have a meeting with so-and-so or if someone-so wants to come and meet with us at the house or meet with me at the house, I don't own this house, so I have to give communication notice ahead of time.
Also, real quick before we go, don't let these people be rude to you, because you're their client, so they should be treating you with the utmost respect. So if you feel like if they're like, for example, if you have a vocational counselor, just using that as an example, let's say if you have a vocational counselor who's being rude to you or giving you an attitude, don't put up with it. Don't put up with it. Say
Because
something. Speak up.
One of the things you can do, and this applies to anybody who is transitioning into voc rehab, you will be required to fill out a privacy practice agreement to social services, also known as DSS, but it's the adult version of DSS. Basically a grievance form is where you have a right to, if your needs are not getting met, you have a right to speak to the supervisor over the caseworker. You also have a right to speak to the deputy director at all possible. And if you still feel that your needs are not getting met, then you can go to the next level chain of command, also known as the Office of Civil Rights, blah, 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 and such and such. It's basically their way of letting you know what your rights are if your case is opened.
And if you are working with a vocational counselor or somebody else and the person's being rude to you, I would suggest, like if you're working with a vocational counselor and if he or she's being rude to you, I would suggest that you, if things get really bad, I would suggest that you might want to find another vocational counselor. Or not find. You might want to get another vocational counselor.
Or get transferred to a different person.
Yeah. So I hope that this, we hope this video helps you guys. Definitely leave a
client's need.
Flip camera. Record video.
Shut up.
So, hopefully that makes sense.
Yep. Anyway, I don't know why my phone did that. It did that yesterday with the Wi-Fi password. You're dumb, phone. Anyway, y'all take care, and we'll see y'all in a minute for the keyboard.
Down below.
Stop. Button. Stop.
Y'all take care.